Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Joy Gonoje again, like you all know, and we have Ubaka Austin here with us again. I'm so happy, I feel like so blessed right now, having you on my stage again on this show again, talking to us, sharing with us
Yes.
your experience, your knowledge and everything. Thank you so much for coming back on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I'm here again. And unfortunately, we are blue, so it's the blues.
Like seriously, we didn't plan this. Let me just put this up front. We did not plan this at all. I
It
said,
just
let me come
happened.
on stage. I saw a blue person on stage. I thought I was looking at the mirror.
That happened. Oh, Chelsea fan, that's a sign.
Seriously, oh, Chelsea for life. All right. For those of us that don't know Austin, I'm just going to give you the stage to talk about who he is again. If this is your first time of saying him, Austin, please tell us who you are. Kylie.
Okay, my name is Augustine Ubaka Oluchukwu. A registered nurse in Nigeria. I practice and I work in Nigeria as well. Side hustle, I did public health, BSc. I'm also an MC and a whole lot of other things. So,
The best MC funny knows. Like
oh, I
you
need to
need
for
to
sure.
you need to listen to issues. All right. You can. By the way, you can follow us, and I'm sure we can follow you on Facebook, Twitter, and every other
Definitely.
social
TikTok,
media
Facebook, IG,
with the same name.
MC
Yeah.
Funny Notes, actually, MC Funny Notes on all my other pages.
All right. So MC Funny Knows, please give us a follow. You'll enjoy it. I promise you. All right. So today we'll be talking about a very important topic as well. Nursing schools, the difficulties faced, how we can help salvage this, because a lot of nursing students, nursing both BSc and all the rest. I don't want to go too forward, but nurses as a whole that are still in school, whatever form of school you're in, and I mean real nurses, we do suffer a lot of difficulties, we suffer a lot of problems, and we're talking about this in our video the last time, that we've gone through a lot in school and we know what we've gone through, and having to receive peanuts as a graduate is not really encouraging. And so this video is just going to be talking to us about sort of how to overcome those challenges we face in nursing school as students, how we can help ourselves, get the better of it, get better, get more improved, enjoy it more, and then see it as something like seamless. So Austin is going to be talking to us first about the different nursing educations we have, the different ways you can study nursing in school, the different forms of nursing we have, so that you're well clear on it. And if you're there watching, you're wondering, how can I be a nurse? Where do I go to? Where do I start from? Austin is going to be giving us an enlightenment on this. So Austin, over to you.
Okay, I want to categorically, first of all, thank you for having me again. It's nice and always a pleasure to be here. Then to start with, I want to categorically say that there are only two forms of studying nursing as far as Nigeria is concerned. I don't know if there's another one. NMC has not told us. And those two forms are, you either become a student of a school of nursing setting somewhere, or you become a student of a university where they offer BSc or BNSC nursing program in the university. These are the only two forms. And then for school of nursing, it stays for 3 years, lasts for 3 years, while the BNSC nursing program is for 5 years. You do that in the university. So these are the only two forms of nursing education that is primarily approved as far as the Federal Republic of Nigeria is concerned.
Yeah.
So if you're a nurse, in quotes, and you are not in school of nursing, or sorry, if you're a nursing student, in quotes, and you are not in school of nursing, or you are not in a university in nursing department, there is no nursing you are studying, maybe it's farming you are studying, and you know what you study. And then if you are called a nurse and you do not or you did not undergo either school of nursing or nursing department in university of somewhere and became a graduate, you are honestly not a nurse. You are a quack nurse. You are as good as that. You did not study nursing. Nursing is studied. It is not learnt, or it is not. They are not trained in the hospital, in a private hospital, or in a chemist, or in a shop. or in an environment. They are not trained there. They actually studied in school, and then you graduate and you are licensed by the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council. If you don't have a license from this council, a license, practicing license that states that, oh, you have undergone your education and you're qualified to practice as a nurse. If you don't have the license, now you're not a nurse. If you have the license of St. Pius Private Hospital, my dear, you are not a nurse, you're a quack. That's simple and as good as that. So whoever wants to study nursing, whoever wants to be a nurse, please go to the right channel. Then you get admission in the School of Nursing, or you get admission in university where nursing education is offered. These are the only two basic ways of becoming a nurse in Nigeria, primarily now.
Exactly. And I would also add, if you're wondering, how do I start? You can just go on Google, search School of Nursing near me. And I mean School of Nursing, or
School of Nursing.
Approved School of Nursing near me, or universities offering, approved universities offering nursing in Nigeria. Like around, they will give you lists. They are not going to give you names of hospitals. They are not going to give you pharmacists. They are not going to give you, because if you want to register or study or learn under a farm, you become a junior pharmacy, auxiliary pharmacy, auxiliary doctor, not auxiliary nurse. There is nothing like auxiliary nurse in the dictionary of Nursing and Midwifery Council, just to be clear. And I think I heard a story from Austin not too long ago about a random person that went to write IELTS because she considered herself as an auxiliary nurse, and she wasn't able to go through because you're not in. I also had someone asking me the other day, like, where will I start? I'm an auxiliary nurse. I want to get a job, another in UK. I said, you can't. I don't have any job. In fact, I don't even have job for nurses to start with. And even if I have sites, names of sites where you can apply as a nurse, not auxiliary. There's nothing like auxiliary in the UK. There is nothing like auxiliary in Nigeria, anywhere at all. There's nothing like auxiliary nursing. All right. Yeah. So by the way, in developed countries like here in the UK, in the US, for instance, they have what they call licensed practical nurses. That's those that assist. They assist, LPNs. They assist nurses in the world, and they have their drug rules specifically. They are not allowed to give drugs, injections, IV drugs, medications that go through the blood and all those, because they are not nurses. They are just like practice that assistants. Yeah, assistants to nurses. You understand? They have their specific. You are not allowed to go outside of it. So you can't study that and then you consider yourself a nurse and be like, I want to go and start giving injection. I'm a nurse. I'm wearing white. That what you're wearing, they are going to take you with it into the prison. You understand?
The trespass.
Exactly. Like, just put this.
If you see their scrub,
I will not even look at myself and be like, I don't understand.
We need to discuss on that primarily, maybe much later.
Calendar and all those this thing is getting tiring and
congratulations. Induction ceremony.
Getting annoying. And you know the difference. You very much know the difference, because wearing koi, wearing high heels, wearing like this, my big earring, you can see some of them wearing it and be like,
they don't do the practice now.
On white, and you are calling yourself a nurse.
What do you expect?
Okay. Let's put it there at that. Let's just stop it there. So go to your schools. Go to any place around you, like schools, approved schools, and get a form. Write your JAMB if you want to go through the university to become a nurse. So you can't do that through any other means. Just to make it very clear, there is nothing like auxiliary nursing. All right. So our next question on the list is what are some of the difficulties? We all know it, like both of us know it, like the difficulties that I encountered in nursing schools as nursing students, in universities, in nursing schools. What do you think some of the difficulties are? Just so, because we're going somewhere, we're going to be talking about how to amend this, how to help ourselves with this. All right.
Well, there are certain difficulties as pertaining nursing education is concerned in Nigeria, and I'm going to be encompassing both as a student nurse in School of Nursing and as a student nurse in the university. I think basically first thing is stress. When I use the word stress,
Yeah.
nursing generally is very stressful.
Yeah.
With all due respect to my colleagues, in fact, they will all agree with me as well. If you want to study nursing, you have to make up your mind that okay, I'm going to actually have the ability to withstand stress.
You have
And
to
by
have
stress,
that
I mean
courage.
that you have to, because you are studying two things, both the practical and the
Yeah.
theoretical. A lot of persons just do practical and they are gone. Some do theory, they are gone. But you are doing both. You have to know the theory part, you have to know the practical part to be very good. So stress is one. Then secondly, I think the school environment as pertaining accommodation.
Yeah.
What kind of accommodation are the students inside? Is it comfortable? Are they okay? Is it cool? Do they have basic amenities, water, lights, good environment, serene environment where they can read and the rest of them? And then again,
Yeah.
could also be finance. Nursing education is gradually becoming very expensive. You have to have
Yeah.
funds to actually
Yeah.
study nursing, because you need to buy textbook. You cannot be reading. What are you reading if you're not
Yeah.
reading textbooks? You need to read, research with writer's note and writer's textbook. I remember then in school we used to buy those big textbook and a foundation of nursing textbooks and the rest of
Yeah.
them. So you need
So,
money. A lot of them, pharmacology textbook, you have the anatomy, physiology textbook. So you need to have money to do these things, basically. So there are other difficulties students encounter in school. But basically, I feel these three are actually top on my list, or personally, I feel they are the most frequently faced difficulties of any student nurse. That's minus the exam and the rest of them.
yeah, that's true. Having to go through all that stress of projects and all those things, and then getting money to actually properly feed yourself, because you're having money, you're thinking of buying textbook, you're thinking of paying your fee, your exam fee, and all that. Be like, okay, I need this more than this. Let me just. It's really stressful and it's really painful sometimes. And I've had situations and times in schools where I've gone through that period, and it's really, really not nice. So the next question is definitely, what are some of the ways we can help ourselves, ameliorate this?
Well, I'll have to start by the school itself. As pertaining environment, the school should be able to provide an adequate, conducive environment for the students. I mean, the hostel should be well equipped. By well equipped, I mean social amenities. They should be well fenced, water, potable water, drinking water that is very, how will I put it, healthy. Lights and any other social amenity that could ease and make the study of nursing smooth for the students. And then parents, you also make up their mind. If you know your child wants to study nursing, you already know that it is money intensive, capital intensive. Don't push them to schools and then expect them to survive without giving them equipment to work with. You cannot tell a farmer to go to work and you don't give him cutlass to work with, you don't give him hoes to work with. He's not going to uproot grass with his teeth. It's not possible. I know things are hard and difficult, but when we are ready for war, let's be ready completely for the battle. Then students on their own, they should be prepared for what they are going into face, because a lot of the assignment is basically on them. It's not even on the parents. You are the one who is facing the battle. You know where, now you wear the shoe, now you know where they pain you, as the saying goes, So primarily these few things. I don't want to go into a lot of details. Those of us who know what it stands for, we know there are 1001 reasons I can give now, and they are all encompassing as well.
We don't really talk much about it. I mean, some parents might feel, their kids are asking way too much from them, because some other students in some other departments and that don't even spend as much as nursing students are requesting for some side money, and they be like, oh, this is what my child is asking. But really, if you're a parent watching this, please and please, we really need money as students, nursing students. It's really a lot of money. Buying things, buying textbooks, keeping up in school is really a lot, and it's a stressful period. That 3 years, that 5 years you're spending in school, you're actually going through a lot of stress, and mostly financial stress. So help us, please. Give your child money, give him or her, something to sustain his or herself in school, and encourage them as well to get something doing that. Which brings me to my next question: like, what are some ways we, like, some side hustles, I will call it Nigerian language, I say, some side hustles we can do while in nursing schools to actually sustain ourselves financially?
Well, okay. To answer that question, there are lots of side hustles. I mean, being a student nurse generally, if I'm being a student generally, does not mean you cannot work. I remember then when I was in Madina University, it's called work study. You're working, you're studying, and then there was this platform where a lot of menial jobs was made available to students who were willing to take up those jobs, and they were being paid very well. So imagine, as a student, you on weekends you decide to work as a gardener. You go to trim flowers. You register. They have a platform. They know how they do it. I didn't join them, but it was a working platform then back then in Madina University. So as a student nurse, you can decide to, if you're good in, as a lady, making hair, or as a guy, guys now make hair. You can decide to make hair in school, make your classmates hair, your seniors, your colleagues hair, even your lecturers in school, if they feel you're good enough. Then as a guy, you're good in barbing. You can decide to own a clipper. On weekends, you shave, you cut your colleagues hair, you make money, 150. Before you know what's happening, you've made over 10,000 naira just in an hour or two. For those of us who are good in talking, I remember when I was in school, I usually travel on weekends to MC events, MC hosts programs, and the rest of them. And it was also good. It helps not just financially, it grows your confidence, helps in your speaking vocabulary. You eradicate a whole lot of other fears while you're undergoing your menial jobs and side hustles. So if you're a cleaner, if you're good in cleaning, you can decide to be cleaning your friends' corners, arrange and clean. There's this cleaning company a friend of mine has. She schools in Uniben. I don't know if I should call Uniben, but she's good in cleaning, and she's rented or hired, so to say, to tidy up untidy and clean environment, and she's paid well for it just by arranging one or two clothes, fold clothes, make bed. This one you just earn 2K. By the time you do it for 2, 3, 4 persons in a day, that's almost like how much? And it's enough to put something on your table, at least, even if you don't get anything from daddy for the rest of the month or week. So these are some of the few things that as a student nurse can actually undertake, and there are so many other things you can do legally. You emphasis on the legally. There are a lot of other things you can actually do to make one or two kobo. At least study does not mean you cannot make money or you cannot do any other thing. Or cannot play, make job boy. So why not, if you can? Give it a shot.
That's true. I remember when I was in the university then, some of my classmates, like a few of them, used to bake these meat pies, donuts and buns. They'll put it inside one transparent this thing and bring to the class.
And they sell even chin-chin.
As we are going through, so we're going through all that stressful time in school class, we just stretch our hand and try to give money. She's making her money. Like that's just lucrative. You're making because the thing about business, nothing. The thing about business is actually finding a problem to solve. That girl was able to find a problem in the class and know that when you're going in through lectures, sometimes you feel stressed. You need mineral, you need bones. So she brought the bones and mineral, and she was able to solve our problem, and we gave her money for it. So it's just finding a problem you can solve. My own time, because I went to a school of midwifery before, I was able to be working as a midwife in some place while I was schooling. So I was doing sort of a part-time job as a midwife, and then working, and that's working and schooling at the same time. So you can do absolutely anything. If you have a skill before you enter the school of nursing, use that skill to your advantage to actually get yourself, because you can't just sit down doing nothing, except of course your parents are really, really that rich that they can sustain you. And so I wasn't in that category, so to say, and I'm sure some other people are there now. So that's about that. So another question is another question we have is like, what are some tips you can give us? I'm sure you've learned or used some tips in school on how best to actually tackle those difficult courses, difficult and stressful after class moments. You have so many books to read, so many things to do. It's really overwhelming that it feels like 24 hours is not even enough in a day. How can you help us? Like, give us idea, give us help, I beg.
A lot of things actually. I remember practically then I was in a reading group.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was the only guy in the reading group. I think reading group we had about 5 or 4 midwives and just myself. Honestly speaking, I can't be thankful enough when I look back or think back about my nursing journey. I can really not be thankful enough to those ladies, because my reading group helped in a very, very, very big way in molding me through a lot of topics that ordinarily on my own I probably would have found it very difficult to understand. So it helps. And when I mean reading group, I mean serious reading group. I don't mean the reading group of coming to gossip or just, I mean, then when we want to read, we read. Like you don't even come with your phone to start with. If we are focused, we read, we discuss, we give you different topics, you go home and research, you bring your points, you tell us what you learned, put heads together, we get the center of everything. We devise means those topics that have acronyms, short formats, we learn them, we on our own, we just try and, how will I put it, get a short link and shorthand for almost everything. And exams was seamless, honestly, throughout my beginning of that reading group. Then again, things you should do. Normally we have this word awoku, but it's not applicable for everybody. If you know it doesn't work for you, don't just bother yourself. Like myself as an example, I am very bad when it comes to reading at night. I tend to channel all my energy to reading during the day. Anything we concern reading for night, I know they
count me out.
But then there's some persons who are skilled, they're very skilled in reading at night. They can read for 4 hours stretch at night. If you're good at that, why not? Try and look into it. It helps, because the more nursing is a progressive course. The more you read this topic, it is linked. They're all linked. You can't read A and read B without linking A to B. There's always a link between A and B. There's always a link between pharmacology and anatomy. You can't for you to know how to give drugs, you need to know the sites, and to know the site, you have to be good in anatomy. You get? So the courses are all intern. You need to know all the courses to actually work, because you need this knowledge to do this, you need this knowledge to do that. Foundation of nursing, if you don't know how to carry patient, you cannot do foundation of nursing, you cannot do some procedures, so their courses are actually interwoven. So reading is essential when it comes to nursing school. You can actually join a reading group. If you are good at reading on your own, read at night, during the day, you can get a reading timetable. Okay, depending on how you know how to read and the level of the concentration, I can decide to read Foundation of Nursing for 2 hours today. We all know this now. I can't start teaching people how to make timetable and the rest of them, but there are a whole lot of other tips to give. But these few ones are very adaptable and very, very useful, especially when it comes to nursing education, because the more you discuss topic with other people, you will learn from them and they will learn from you. You always have something to pick from everybody, and you probably will come with only one idea before the reading group starts. But trust me, before the end of the reading group, you will still have that one idea. You would have gotten 5-6 more ideas, and that's the aim of going to school. That's the aim of being in the reading group. So it helps a whole lot. And then can add other means that are good enough and legit. I still emphasize legally and legitly enough that can help. It's always welcomed.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I remember my own time, like I saw that, me too, I wasn't so much of a good night reader. I carry my book at night, and it's not that I can't stay awake, but I'm not really gaining enough.
You need to rest.
I'm not gaining enough for that period. So what I transformed into doing was, try as much as I can to read at any given opportunity. So there is no lecturer in class at the moment I'm reading. I'm walking along the street, I'm reading. I know that sounds crazy, it sounds really crazy, but that was just a way of trying to balance myself. Yes, making up for the lost times, because I will go to work at night. after closing I'll go to night shift. So I needed to make up, I needed to, get there, because you have to read. You can't just leave your books there, nobody to read them. So I just try as much as I can. If I'm in the bus, I'm reading. If I'm doing like anywhere at all, I find myself, a calm space, I just try my best to read, because anything you take in at that moment, it will remain with you. You
Yes.
understand? So find what works for you, like Austin said, and
Stick
then
to it.
stick with that. Yeah. All right. So overall, we've learned about the different aspects of nursing education, nursing school, and then universities as well, offering nursing. And we've talked about some of the difficulties we encounter, some of the ways to overcome those difficulties, and ways to also ace nursing
Ameliorate.
school. Yes. Is there some other thing you want to add for us to help us through this, like overall?
Well, I think desire matters a lot, because then there's, for you to be, no, generally now there are two things. Okay, I have to put it like this very well. There are two sets of nurses. Those ones who do nursing because they desire to be a nurse, and those ones who do nursing because they want to run, because nursing is now like a passport to running. Okay, so it depends on which one. But at the end of the day, even if your desire to be a nurse is to travel out, you still need to pass the exam and become a registered nurse and get your license. So you still need to read, but whichever way, even if it's as a desire or as a means to travel and relocate, just be steadfast. Just do whatever you think you can do to make yourself and the nursing education easier for you. Please just do that. Go to the right channel. That's the basic thing. Like we can't overemphasize the fact that you have to be on the right channel to actually be a nurse. You cannot use these tips and you're on the wrong track. You cannot use these tips and go and be learning nursing in a chemist and say you want to be doing a WOKU. I saw a video of two nurses and they say we should be reading at night. Meanwhile, you're not in university and you're not in school of nursing. You are learning it in the pharmacy and you are waking up at night. I mean, you're not trying in the right way, So please get the form from School of Nursing or write your post-UTME and get an admission in university. These are the only two ways you can be studying nursing in Nigeria. Any other thing apart from these two ways, my dear brother, my dear sister, you are not studying nursing. You may end up calling yourself a nurse, but you are not a nurse. That is just is as truthful and as simple as that. You can design a very beautiful poster and invite us for your induction. Only you are nurse, only you are pharmacist, only you are
in your family.
All of them. But at the end of the day, you can only own a pharmacist. The highest you can own is just a chemist where you dispense drug. You are literally known as a dispenser. It's as simple as that. And maybe your environment will be calling you nurse. But in the eyes of Nigeria, as enlightened as every other person is, you are not a nurse. So just do that on the right track. Get an admission from either School of Nursing or university and do proper nursing. And then at the end of the day, when they are calling you a nurse, you'll be definitely sure that yes, you're a nurse. Yeah.
And when you go to the School of Nursing, you know the difference between what you've done before, what you're doing, and what's
because scientific rationale, there's a reason. For everything you do, there's a reason behind doing it.
There's a rationale, like it's just there.
There's a reason,
So you don't just do things that's in oblivion.
No, you have to have a reason for doing it.
Yeah. Also, I just want to add, for someone that might be struggling through the period, struggling through the years in nursing school and be like, this thing is never ending. It's definitely going to end someday. I was once there and we were once there, and we thought it's definitely going to end someday. We're here. We're happy now, but during that time it was really stressful and it looks like a very long process. But as long as you do the things you're supposed to do the things you're asked to do, study your books, do your exams, follow the rules, you see yourself scaling through it. Do the things you're supposed to do. Don't ignore the things you're supposed to do and do something else, like going to club. I know going to club once in a while is not bad. It's not bad, but don't make that your lifestyle. Ignoring your books and then just doing something else entirely, distracting yourself. If you continuously do that, you might see yourself struggling the more with it. So do the things you're supposed to do. make the sacrifice. It's just for that period of time, and you end up with a reward, which is your license, that can never be taken away from you.
At all,
It
at
can
all.
never be taken away. It's yours for life, and it's going to give you that respect and recognition that you need. So make that sacrifice today, and at the end of the day, you get your reward. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Austin.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming. If there is nothing else we want to add, I would say if you like this video, please share with your friends. Share to every nursing student you know out there that it might be able to help. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Drop your comments on what you think about the video, what your thoughts are about nursing schools, and how you can, your contribution, how we can also help nursing students, what tips you have on how to ace nursing school and every other thing. Just drop your comments, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to follow Baka Austin, MC Funny Nurse, on our social media platform.
Thank you very much.
And follow me as well if you have time.
No problem.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you very much. All right.